On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Welcome to the Ron Van Dam Show. Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Come Monday, it'll be alright.
Monday morning, you sure look fine. Rainy days, Mondays always get me down.
Whatever.
Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays.
It's just another manic Monday.
Monday, so good to me.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever your liquid libation may be in the morning, and join us as we take a look at the world around us. As much as it's a pleasure to be with you, the pleasure is actually all yours. And now, here's your host, Ron Van Dam.
Thank you very much, Julie. Welcome to the program. It is the Ron Van Dam Show. Don't argue with me. Don't start out that way. Don't start out that way. I mean, it's nice of me to do this, okay? I'm starting out with an attitude now. You see what you do to me? Well, thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. What, no gift? Usually when people drop by a place, they bring a bottle of wine or a toaster oven or something like that. But nothing? Come on. How about a 40-piece silverware set? I could use that. I eat a lot. I need forks. Come on. Nothing, huh? Dozen donuts? I wouldn't eat them anyway. Bunch of crap. I haven't had a donut in like 6 years. And that's true. I'm not exaggerating. All right, maybe 5.5. But I haven't had a donut at all. Do you know why? And I don't think we have any donut sponsors. I know we don't, because I wouldn't accept them. Donuts were created by the devil. They were. It's in the Bible. It's in Leviticus chapter 7, paragraph 3. Yeah, it says donuts are the devil's food. They even named a cake after the devil. Devil's food cake. Any clues there that you shouldn't eat it? Seriously? Come on. Donuts are nasty, man. They take dough. That's the donut. The dough part. They take dough. What's the nut thing, by the way? There's no nuts in donuts. That would be a staple item if it's in the title. Where did that come from? I think it's supposed to be a dough knot, K-N-O-T. Yeah, but we dropped the K because people in the United States don't understand what that K is doing there to begin with. Why is there a K in the word knot, K-N-O-T, like you're tying a rope? Or you get a knot in your hair or in your shoelace or something? Why is there a K in that? It's to fuck you up. It's the only reason they would do something like that. It doesn't make a sound. It's silent. See, that's what doesn't make sense. Why would you put a K in a word? Yeah, but the K is silent. Then why is it there? Oh, I don't know. We just threw it in there. I don't know why there's a K in not. It's not cannot, is it? Maybe it is. No, it's not. It's N-O-T. I guess we put the K in there is not to confuse with N-O-T, like I will not do that or I will tie a knot. The only way we could differentiate the two is to put a K in one of them. You're crazy. This is why people don't listen to you. You don't make any sense. So anyway, they take this dough, they take dough, and they wrap it around itself. There's no knot involved. They wrap it into a circle, and then they dunk it into hot, dripping, boiling oil, which is a staple of the American diet. And they let that thing just ferment in that bubbling oil until all the grease has been soaked up by every square inch of that dough. And it's not a diet food just because there's nothing in the middle. It's still bad for you. And then they take it out and they put sugar on top, powdered sugar or icing, which is just congealed sugar. Whoa. And then they fill it with jelly sometimes. Well, I don't know where that came from. Whose idea was that? Let's put something in the donut so when people bite into it, it gets all over their clothes. I remember that so much. Do you? You don't even care, do you? I remember that so much. I used to work in an office. I know. Who knew? Why would I do something like that? Because you need money to live, you know? So I took a job. I was an office manager, and somebody would bring donuts, and, you know, if we were having a meeting, meetings. Do you remember that? Do you still have those things where people gather around in a room? You know, if there's anything that COVID should have really prevented is people gathering around in rooms and having meetings. If they don't have those anymore, I think then, it wasn't worth it. It's just a good offshoot from it. So we would be having a meeting, and nobody listened in the meeting. People are just sleeping, and they all smell the bad breath and drinking coffee, and there was no point to these things. It was just boring. But someone would bring in a dozen donuts, and there would be a jelly donut, a couple of jelly donuts in this dozen or a couple of dozen donuts. The box of death, I called it, the donut box of death. There'd be some jelly donuts in, and of course the jelly donuts were the last ones to be eaten, only because when you bite into it, it gets all over your face. You can't be in a serious business meeting and have jelly dripping down your chin. It looks like someone shot you in the mouth, and then it gets all over your clothes and the front of your shirt. It's just really not good. And women, it's like dripping on your boobs. It's not a pretty sight. Sexy, but not pretty. I tell you, man, jelly donuts. I don't know why they made those things. I don't know why. Anyway, donuts, awful, and I haven't had them in a long time, and I don't know why I'm even talking about this, and I don't know how we got into it. It's your fault somehow. It's going to be your fault somehow. And even though we say to people, don't take it personally, it's not your fault, inside we're saying, but it really is your fault. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this situation. But I don't want to make you feel bad because I do have feelings. So I'll lie to you. It's not your fault. It's really not your fault. You had nothing to do with this. But you did. You caused a tumultuous situation. You brought the jelly donuts, didn't you? When people order donuts at a donut shop, it's so funny, man. When I did used to eat donuts, which was like, I think it was in 1917, when there were cavemen and dinosaurs and stuff. I remember going to Dunkin' Donuts, or whatever it was called, and there'd be someone in front of me dressed in office garb, getting a dozen donuts for the office meeting, and the person would stand there and take forever. Give me 2 of the plain donuts, 1 of the sprinkles, but not too many sprinkles. Give me 1 of the old-fashioned donut. I don't understand what that is, but give me 1 of those. Give me 1 of the powdered donut. All right, you've got 8 to go. All right, give me 1 of the moon donuts. We don't have moon donuts. I don't even know what that is. And give me, how many is that so far? That's 11. You have 1 more to go. Give me a jelly donut. What are you, nuts? That's going to spurt all over everybody. Look, just give me a jelly donut. Yeah, that's the way it would. And I'd be standing there in line. All I wanted was a cup of coffee. There's people ordering donuts. Give me a dozen of You know, they should just come up with, here's your standard dozen donuts. You get what you get. Just shut up. Donuts, man. Coffee and donuts. You need a lot of coffee to accept the fact that you're ordering a donut. You need something. Hey, what's up with these marijuana dispensaries? What the hell's going on with you people? What is that about? I guess they're regulated by whatever state you live in. Recently, Connecticut was the next state to jump on board to the marijuana train. Now you can sell marijuana in Connecticut, and well, thank God, because now that Connecticut's reopening, you got to be selling marijuana. And I didn't think anybody in Connecticut smoked marijuana. I don't think they have time. They're too busy commuting to something else. I don't think people who live in Connecticut actually ever work there. They just stop by to sleep. So they got, they're good now. They're good with the marijuana thing. So these marijuana dispensaries are starting to pop up all over the place. And I would figure there would have been lines around the block. Every time I pass a marijuana dispensary, there's like 3 of them in the area that I live in. I guess I live in an area with a lot of potheads or something. But there's nobody ever, there's no cars in front, there's no lines. It's like they're not doing good business. It's funny in that sense. Oh, I want marijuana. I want marijuana dispensaries. Okay, here they are. Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, what is that? What is that? There's no people there. There's no people there. I wouldn't go driving near the dispensaries. I mean, I don't know. Do you walk in and have samples? I don't know how that works. I don't know. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't. It's not my drug of choice. What kind of society are we? It's not my drug of choice. Do you know what happened with alcohol, man? Because of the pandemia thing, people started drinking, and it's not that it's that they're drinking at home now. They used to go to the bar and drink, and they'd shut them off, or it would get a little expensive. Now people are buying alcohol. Remember during the pandemia, the liquor stores were considered essential businesses. I understand why they were essential. Otherwise, people would have really freaked out. But it turned a lot of America into, I wouldn't say alcoholics, but alcoholic-loving people. And they learned to drink at home. Well, if I'm stuck at home, I might as well drink. There's nothing else to do. So they started drinking at home, and then they started drinking earlier in the day. It used to be, you can't have a cocktail until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know why 5 o'clock. I guess that's when your job would end at 5, a 9-to-5 job would end at 5, and then you'd have a drink, and I guess that would be okay. So you can't have a cocktail till 5 o'clock. Now, people drinking cocktails at lunch, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't see any problem. I don't see what the hell the difference is. Yeah, no, I don't. I have a few drinks at night, and that's really about it. Well, try them during the day. I mean, go to bed at night, eat some dinner, go to bed, spend time with your family. Don't drink then. Drink in the afternoon. But I have a job. They won't know. It'll make you more friendly. Drunks are funny, aren't they? Aren't they funny? They're funny because there's 2 types of people when they drink alcohol. There's the friendly drunk, and there's the obnoxious, disgusting drunk. There's kind of nothing in between. And they both suck. Drunk is drunk, man. Drunk means you're not yourself. You're acting like an asshole. You can be acting like a nice asshole or a horrible asshole, but you're still an asshole. Of course, the nasty drunks will start cursing and start getting belligerent and argumentative, even more so than they do in regular life. They're all disgusting. We see those in the movies. And there's the nice drunks. You see those in the movies, too. Those are the ones where all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, they'll look at you and say, you know what? I love you. You know what? You're the best person in the world. Come here, buddy. Come here. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. And then they hug you like they're falling off a building or something and they can't let go. And they don't let go of you. I love you. I love you, man. Come here. Give me a hug. Give me a child. Come here. Give me something, man. Give me some love. Give me some love. You're my bro. You're my bud. Come here. Give me a hug. Oh, I just love you. You are so good. If anybody ever was the person you are, you're just so, I love you so. Oh, it becomes so obnoxious. So obnoxious. The nice drunks are just as bad as the bad ones. It's the word drunk that doesn't work. See, here's what you got to do. You got to know when to stop before you turn into one of those nice ones or bad ones. They're just as bad. No one likes them. And when you say to them, I think you've had too much to drink. Oh, no, I haven't. I'm fine. Give me a hug. Give me a big hug. Come over here. Let's exchange clothing. Come on, put my pants on. They look so good. I want you to have my pants, man. 'Cause you're my bud. You're my bud. We share our pants, don't we? Come on, let's get undressed and start touching various parts of our body together. Come on. You're my bud, man. You're my person. I'm your man. I'm your woman. Come here. Give me a kiss. I want you to put your tongue in my nose and swish it around, man, 'cause I love you, man. I love you. Oh, it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Anyway, I do have an interesting guest coming up on today's show. I hope that you enjoy. But before we do, if you have kids, they just love this. Whoa. And they have a sale of them at Costco. So listen to this.
Ain't always easy these days to know what to give your kids for snacks. Sugary this, high fructosey that. Heck, even the stuff they call natural ain't always natural. But there's one snack when your kids ask for it, you know exactly what you're giving them.
I want piggy parts. I want piggy parts.
Professor Parker's preserved piggy parts are 100% all-natural salt-preserved pig parts. What parts, you ask? Well, some folks would call them scraps or ears or hoofs, but kids just call them delicious. And with their stiff, leathery texture, one Professor Parker's preserved piggy part will last a kid all afternoon. That's what we call value. So stock up now for school. You'll find them at the end of the pet food aisle in original, barbecue, or vinegar, garlic, teriyaki, onion, habanero, pineapple flavor. Give them a try and you'll see why kids say,
That's some good piggies.
Professor Parker's preserved piggy parts.
Dr. Sanjay Prasad joins us now. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Interesting book that you've put out here, Resetting Healthcare Post-COVID-19 Pandemic. This is a handbook, in a sense, as you say.
Yeah, it's a guide for patients to start to understand, what's happening with surgical care, especially in terms of how they're being referred to surgeons and getting subjected to unnecessary surgeries, and getting surgeries from surgeons who don't necessarily have the best outcomes. It's a describing the problem for patients, and then it's also offering a solution.
I guess there are two kinds of patients. Tell me if I'm accurate here, but there are patients that say, yes, whatever you tell me to do, whoever you tell me to use, whatever choices I have, you tell me and I'll do it. And the others say, well, I got to do a little research. I have to find the best in the category and what my options are, need second opinions. Is that an accurate statement?
I think by and large that is, but I think this COVID-19 pandemic has really forced patients to pause and rethink what they're doing. And I think every patient should be doing some research before they undergo surgery. No question.
Is there? Would you go as far as to say that there are some facts that are hidden from patients, so that they don't have that much of a choice, so we can get more business to the surgeons that aren't as busy, may not have as much experience? Is that willingly being done by the health organizations or not?
Well, I think, Ron, there's so much information transfer that has to happen between the provider and the patient. There's such short time with the visit. It makes it very difficult to get all the information to the patient, especially in regards to having surgery or alternatives to surgery.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the emergency. I mean, if it's something that we got to do this right away, then I guess you have to go with it. But if you have an opportunity to say, well, getting a second opinion and do some research on this, and that's a little bit different.
So when I was researching for my book, one of the chapters, I was looking at this whole issue of elective surgery, non-urgent surgery, and it's really quite fascinating. When you say elective surgery, people are thinking plastic surgery, cosmetics, facelifts, nose jobs, that kind of thing.
Yes.
But non-urgent surgery is what can be used, and that's, when you look at non-urgent surgery, we're talking about 91, 92% of all surgeries being performed today.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, most surgeries can wait at least a week to get scheduled. They don't really need to be done right away. There's actually very few percentage of surgeries that really need to be done urgently within 24 hours.
Interesting. How important indeed are second opinions, or does one feel like they're insulting their doctor or their health organization by even questioning that?
I don't think any surgeon should ever be insulted by a second opinion. I think not only second opinions, I think patients deserve multiple opinions, and that's what our solution allows for.
I see. So how does the book actually open our eyes? What can the patient do that is different than what they may be experiencing?
Well, today they're referred from a primary care physician to surgeons without much thought about cost or the surgeon's outcomes. So they get subjected to unnecessary surgery. They get subjected to complications from necessary surgery. And when they need surgery, they're not necessarily getting connected to the surgeon who has the best outcomes within their network, within their health plan.
Yeah.
So our solution is basically we handhold the patients with a concierge platform. We handhold them, get their permission to gather their medical records and their imaging. We send it up to the cloud. We send it to multiple surgeons within their network that have that area of interest. And the surgeons validate necessity, number one, but they also enter some very important metrics. That is, doctor, how many have you done last year? What's your success rate? What's your complication rate? Well, and these measures are very specific to the condition. And patients now can learn about success measures, complication measures. They can get more educated, and they can make well-informed decisions and choose their doctor appropriately. It just makes a ton of sense.
I mean, there are some websites that do that to a lesser extent, where they simply have the background of the surgeon, but it's not as detailed as what you mentioned here.
Yeah, and I think there's certainly an effort today in the healthcare community to get that done, but we are very focused on the procedure the patient's about to have and the quality measures surrounding that, the outcomes measures surrounding that. Just to give you an example, let's talk about gallbladder surgery. There's the complication of bile duct injury, where the ducts from the gallbladder to the intestine can be injured. It causes lots of other complications and more surgeries, et cetera. So we're looking at bile duct injury rate with these surgeons, and also hemorrhage is a big issue. If you're having it done by scopes, then they have to open the abdomen to get control. We're looking at some of these kinds of measures. So they're very specific to the procedure you're about to have.
I know many people who have passed, and the reason that they did was complications from surgery. Sometimes that happens. Other times could have been avoided.
Well, we like to think so. In retrospect, hindsight is always 20/20.
Right.
And it depends on the condition. If it's a ruptured aneurysm, I mean, it's a very dire situation.
Yeah.
But it's so case to case. It's very specific to the case.
Okay. All right. I know in some countries where they have other forms of health care, you have no choice, and you just wait until any doctor is available. We don't have that extreme situation here necessarily.
Yeah, and the nationalized healthcare systems, you're kind of pigeonholed to surgeons and hospitals.
Yeah.
But we're really creating a system where surgeons are putting their outcomes out there to gather patients, and it just makes a lot of sense.
Okay. All right. The book is called Resetting Healthcare, and it's available everywhere, Doctor?
Yeah, Resetting Healthcare, Post-COVID-19 Pandemic, the patient handbook. And you can get more information on resettinghealthcare.com. Yes, it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the usual places.
Right.
And happy to entertain anyone who has ideas.
Great. Is there a website they can visit as well?
They can go to resettinghealthcare.com. The company is called SurgiQuality. So they can go to SurgiQuality.com or email us at info@SurgiQuality.com.
Perfect.
And we're happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for your time today. Well, that's it. That's it. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. But before we go, yeah, I know you can't live your life without knowing what's going to happen to you. So it's time for your horoscope.
Greetings, fellow planet travelers. Kip Starchild here with your New England Broadcasting Horoscope-scape. Let's take a look and see what the stars have in store for you. Aquarius. The stars say you'll soon find happiness and prosperity, but then I think I hear them giggling to each other, so maybe take that with a grain of organic fair trade salt. Pisces. Your beautifully focused pursuit of meaning will soon lead you to a box of toaster pastries. Don't read too much into it, just enjoy some delicious toaster pastries. Aries. Unfriend everyone on social media and start again. Choose better this time. Taurus. Stop relying on WebMD and get that thing checked out already. People are starting to talk. Gemini. You will soon face a fork in your career path. It'll be the fast food industry or amateur bondage porn, so choose wisely. Cancer. When Mercury goes retrograde and Pluto is ascendant in the house of Cassiopeia, make yourself a sandwich. It will be amazing. Leo. Call your mom soon for interesting news. And by mom, I mean the real one. In prison. Libra. Your lucky number is 26, and your lucky color is blue. Look for instances where they appear together, especially on Tuesdays. This could help cure you of your extreme gullibility. Scorpio. It's time to stop eating things on a dare. Capricorn. Now that gay marriage has been legalized, perhaps it's time to take a really close look at exactly why you love musical theater so very much. Maybe? Think about it. This is Kip Starchild, and that is your New England Broadcasting Horoscope-scape for the month. Until next time, peace.
Have a great day. I wish you peace.